let me start by saying I finished the second season and I absolutely loved it. It is so good. I don't think fans are ready for how good it is. I think they're just gonna love it. For you guys, have you just been counting the days till you can actually talk about specifics?
People ask you all the time, like, yes, what can you tell us? Is there anything you can actually tell us, like some little thing? And it's just like we have had to say no so many times. So I'm very excited.
We don't want to diminish their experience of the...
Exactly. Like
Right.
saying something would diminish their experience. So it's kind of like, just get it. Finally, it's out there, and they can just watch it and know what's up.
One of the things I think that's really cool about Stranger Things is that you guys work with different directors. The Duffers started, the bookend. You have Sean Levy, Andrew Stanton, which is crazy.
Andrew, well,
exactly. So I'm curious if you could talk a little bit about working with the different directors on the series and maybe how they're different, how they're the same, and maybe what it's like filming 2 different episodes on the same day that might have different directors.
Well, it's convenient because in the block schedule, the directors will have the 2 episodes that we're shooting at the same time. So you'll never have 2 different directors on the same day, which is nice. But, I mean, obviously it's amazing, and it's kind of crazy how they all can make this cohesive tone that the Duffer Brothers have created while, bringing their own things to the show. I guess that's what I have to say about it.
It was my first time working on television. Did I cut you off?
No. I just said
it was my first time working on television, so it was really interesting for me. The narrative is so much more drawn out, and you're right, you're coming in and out of it. Even if you're shooting 2-episode blocks,
Definitely.
you might be, however many days ahead and then back and forth. Andrew Stanton, Sean, Matt, and Ross, all the directors were incredible, and each brought something unique to the plate. They all have such established and concrete careers and have done all kinds of amazing things. So I just kind of went to set and tried to act like a sponge, soak up as much advice and things as I could. So it was pretty amazing to have a diverse range like that.
Yeah. I mean, you guys covered it pretty well, but yeah, I totally agree to the point where, the Duffers are very hands-on with this whole project. They write, they direct, they edit, all that stuff, so they're very close to it. But having Sean and Andrew on, doesn't diminish the integrity of what they've created. It enhances it in very unique ways that maybe you didn't think about. So that's fun.
Yeah, I was very impressed with what Andrew did for his first time directing, but then again, the whole series is so good. Let's talk about the most important thing, which is your look on the show.
Definitely.
I mean, we have to get into it. The
Canadian
hair,
tuxedo.
Yeah, we got to get into it. So how much is that?
Jeans
The earring.
Right, so how much is? Love it. How much is that the costume department? How much is that you working with the costume department?
So 3 names: Amy, Sarah, and Kim. That's all HODs of all those departments. Huge hats off to those 3. And everybody else.
Wigs off.
But wigs off to those guys. No, I think between the wig and the jean jacket and everything, it's an incredible space to function in. I feel very fortunate. It's very different from myself.
I remember you showing up and being like, what?
Yeah, I love it. So little things like on that jacket, if you'll notice, there's a little a lipstick imprint on the lower half of the collar, and that was something that we added. And
the earring, the attention to detail.
the watches, I went through. I think a lot of that the rings and things that was stuff that we sort of did. There's a little scorpion keychain for the Camaro, and but the jeans were customized, tight bum. Yes.
One of the things I think that's great about the second season, is that it feels like everything's amped up. The action's even better. Just the character stuff. It's just really well done for all of you guys. What was it like? How many of the scripts did you get in advance? How much did you know about the arc of how everything was going to go?
Didn't know it at first. Probably got 2, and then 2, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2. It was like pretty much like throughout. You're kind of like, what happens? Because it's kind of hard. Also, it's nice if you get a script for a film because you read the whole thing, you know where you start, you know where you end. But this, you're kind of like, well, I don't know what. Yeah. So it's helpful in some ways and can kind of be like you just want to know in other ways. So I mean, for the most part, I feel like we're like the audience, waiting around for the scripts and then waiting for it to come out, just like everyone else. It's like we're kind of along for the ride.
Well, do the Duffers pull you aside at the beginning and give you any sort of hint as to where the season's going to go? Like, how much are you told about the arc, and how much is it you guys getting those scripts and being like, okay, so what's going to be happening?
not
Pretty
a whole
hush
lot.
hush about it.
Yeah, pretty hush.
Pretty hush
You know,
about it.
they-
I mean, you can,
they like to like give it. I think occasionally they'll drop a little like this might happen.
yeah,
maybe.
drop a little hint.
You know, like,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
But
Tell
they
me.
don't actually confirm
Yeah.
anything until the scripts come out and they go
Yeah.
through Netflix and everything. Just because I think it's a little bit more trouble just to tell people something and then if it changes, then it changes. And
Right,
it's like
you
if,
just-
putting yourself in that situation is probably no fun. So
Right.
I have to ask you also another important question. Who do you think would win between a fight between the younger kids in Stranger Things and the kids of It?
well, you have to subtract Finn from both because they would just fight
would
each
fight
other.
himself.
and
Finn
so it's
Fight
cancel
himself.
each other out.
I would say numbers wise, they would have
Yeah.
Stranger Things beat just
Oh,
because there's you
yeah.
know.
It's too
But
many
they're also,
kids.
they seem the kids in it of like way.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
seem. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they do pretty. I mean, they don't have the like Millie doesn't have.
That's if you include
Does she
Millie
have,
though.
you
I
know,
mean,
her stuff?
if 11
Or-
is part of that crew, then I think
Is
we
it
have
like
a
the
pretty
fictional
good
characters
shot.
or real kids?
I would say real kids.
Oh, the
I
real
mean,
kids.
I'm sorry, our guys, but I think you might die.
Lord of the Flies.
When you compare it to you weren't on season one, but for you guys making season two, like how did it compare on set? Maybe versus making the first season, because the first season you're operating in like a void. You don't know if this is going to be good. You have no idea what the final result will be.
Yeah.
So what is it like on the second season, knowing huge hit and there's a lot of fan expectation?
I have to say I didn't quite feel like I wasn't too nervous about that or thinking about that so much while we were filming, you know, and I think we have a lot of trust in the Duffers and the creators inherently just because they're really good at what they do and it's very obvious. But I think, I don't know, I didn't really start to like get nervous about the reception of season two until we were kind of wrapping it up and towards the end and then realizing like, oh man, like how is this?
Yeah, this is
I
gonna
mean,
come out.
and for the first season, it was kind of like we all
Yeah.
like it. We hope you guys like it. We hope that's well received. And I was like, I really do like it, you know. And it's you never know. You never know when you throw it out there what people are how they're gonna react. But I feel really good about it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you feel like a little bit of pressure down there, but not really. It's just like once you get back on set, it's like, oh yeah, we're back here. Oh, this is great, and
It's
then
so
you get
fun,
to, you know,
too.
a very like relaxed feeling on set, not very stressful at all.
Again, congratulations. People are going to fucking love it. They
Oh.
really
Thank
are.
you.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.